your class notebooks. So in case you don't remember, you're going to your team's class notebook and you're going to go to the tab that says writing. And for today's Do Now, I just want you to kind of reflect on how you feel about poetry. Do you like it? Do you find it difficult? Do you find it boring? And why for any of those things? And I really just want you not to feel pressured to say certain things one way or another, but just your honest thoughts about it, because poetry is something that people, I find, either really love it and think it's great, or they are a little bit scared of it. Like they think that it's really hard. So I'm very curious to see how you personally feel about it, and there's no right or wrong answer to this type of question. You just have to think about it and answer it honestly, okay? Now, our objectives for today are that students will read and analyze poetry by identifying at least 3 elements of structure and literary devices from the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Now, that objective can sound a little bit scary in itself, right? Because there's a lot of, kind of test-like words in there, but I want you to start getting used to those things. All that means is we're going to be looking at this poem really carefully, like reading it a few times in one sitting in order to pull out these different ideas from the poem. And here I've said at least 3 elements of structure and literary devices. So this is like the key thing that we're really looking at, these literary devices we're going to be looking at. And the first one that we're going to be doing, and this is the one I'm going to be showing you how to do, is rhetorical questions. So does anybody know what a rhetorical question is? And you can either say it out loud or you can put it in the chat. What is a rhetorical question? Yeah, so a rhetorical question is a question that you don't expect somebody to yell out an answer to, but it is something that you expect people to think about, to kind of stop in their tracks and just think about what it is that you just said or that you just asked them. So that's what I'm going to be kind of pulling out from this poem and modeling for you how to locate a literary device in a poem and explain it in kind of your own words or to show some kind of meaning. So what we're going to be looking for, obviously there's the key word here that should make you start thinking, all right, question. So it should probably have a question mark at the end. But rhetorical question means it's a question that is meant for your audience to think about what you're saying, to kind of think about the question in their head, but not like raise their hand and answer you. And then in small groups, you guys are going to locate imagery in the poem, in the same poem. Everything we're doing today is within the same poem, so we're going to be reading it more than one time. And then you're going to do some independent work by finding the similes in the poem. So now, rhetorical questions, that's something that you may not have really talked about in middle school. This might be a little bit new to you. That's why I'm going to model it. But imagery and simile, besides you doing those in middle school, we have already talked about that. Now, we are going to do a little bit of a review of the literary devices. I'm going to show you right now where we're going to find the documents for today. So if everyone goes to our class pages under our analysis unit, you're going to see the documents for analyzing poetry. And there are 3 documents here today. The first one we're going to be looking at is the Poetry PowerPoint. And this PowerPoint is actually very long, and we are going to look at it in stages. So we're not actually going to go through the entire presentation today. We are going to look at just a couple sections of it today before we move into the actual activities. So figurative language